Here's Dreamer, chapter 20, when everything changed. People were yelling, and it was obvious that they were well behind schedule. One very fat customer, who looked like he'd already eaten enough pies, was going through the list and picking a bewildering array of foods. It was difficult for Jack not to laugh at as the man's face got so red with excitement that he began to resemble a pig, and a very greedy one at that. Jack scribbled down the order, and he couldn't believe that someone could eat so much. He had a starter, a large curry, coffee and biscuits, and root beer. Jack moved round the table, and everyone was dressed in suits, and the women were dripping in jewellery and pearls and fancy dresses. Jack hurried back to the chef and the cooks, who were busy chopping and dicing furiously. Sweat was forming on their brows, and their white smocks were no longer white. Jack was glad he wasn't in the kitchen. It was far too noisy and busy for him to cope with. He went back over to his hungry customers. It was difficult remembering who had ordered what, and he was worried that he would make a mistake. The bell rang, and another customer walked in, and he didn't wear a suit. He was wearing a leather jacket, jeans, and big black boots. He looked tough, and he frowned a lot, as if something was troubling him. He ordered a beer without a thank you, and Jack wrote down his order of steak and chips, and then he went back to his washing up. The cups had started to build, and the plates were balanced so precariously it was only a matter of time before they crashed to the floor. He set to work with his brush. He had a lot of catching up to do. It was then that he heard a loud banging noise and a lot of shouting from inside the restaurant. It was a different type of noise, so he decided to investigate. He took a rolling pin with him for protection, just in case, even though he wasn't sure what protection it would give him. The man in the leather jacket was shouting and holding a gun. He was clutching a large bag, which he proceeded to fill with large banknotes from the till. None of the staff or customers moved. It was as if they were rooted to the spot, like statues. Jack looked at the money, and then he looked at the gun. He didn't feel afraid. He knew he had to act. Everything seemed to move in slow motion as he reached out to grab the loaded gun. He heard a voice shouting, "No," but all he could think about was grabbing the gun. He reached out foolhardily and grabbed the end of the revolver. This was when everything changed. A large bang and a burning smell filled the restaurant, and Jack looked down, and he saw the shape of a red rose appear on his white outfit, but he felt no pain. All around him, people were screaming, but he was as calm as a flower. Slowly, ever so slowly, he began to feel faint, and the lights in the room grew dimmer and dimmer until there was no light at all.